Good morning, Marianas. It's 7:32. The traffic is moving. It's grooving. We're moving and grooving. That bus is popping and locking. That thing really popped out of there. Holy cow. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful day. It's 7:33 here in Saipan, and it is 81 degrees, and we're just getting ready. Let's get started, guys. Hey, it is a beautiful day out here, and we're glad to have all you guys out here with us this morning. It is, again, 81 degrees, 77% humidity, so it is nice outside, and we are going to have a beautiful day. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, high near 86, with a nice wind out of the east, 11 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 18, so I guess that's going to move around a little bit, but that's just going to make sure that you don't get too hot. You know, you don't want to be too hot out there. And today is going to be a perfect day. Guys, I want to say it's awesome. Awesome. All the feedback that we ended up getting from all of you guys about so many different things. And, man, it's just great to have all y'all in here. And let's see, who do we got? Eric, good morning. Great to see you, partner. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And way to see you over there on YouTube. Sasha, welcome back again. Good to see you. Man, what a day. What a day yesterday was. I'm going to tell you what happened. So I hear there was a football game yesterday. And my team did not win. And I did more than just hear about it. Of course, I was watching it. I was watching it live. And I was just crushed. In fact, you know, the funny thing is that my wife came in like when there was like a minute and a half left. The Bills got the ball and we're starting to go. And then we had just given the ball back to the Chiefs after Kincaid dropped that pass. And I don't think it's fair to lay that on him. That was not an easy one to make anyway. But, right, so now I'm like, shit, this game's over. It's done. They get a first down, it's over. When they stop them on the first down, they get a timeout. Or they got a first down. Then they ran it again. They stop them, timeout. Stop them, timeout. And then they run for a first down, and I'm like, no, that's it. I even watched the last, minute or so for all that stuff. But I'm like, she's knocking on the door as that happens. I'm like, no, like I'm about ready to just storm out of here and just go somewhere, do something. And now I have to be nice and friendly and like, I'm okay. I'm like, no, I am not in this moment. And I don't want to sit and talk about it either. I don't want to talk about my feelings. I just want to go out there and be like, meh. And so, and as I was like watching, I'm like, look, this game is just about over. I don't want to sit here and talk. As soon as it's done, I'm turning this off and I'm getting out of here. And I'm like, I know that doesn't even sound nice. And then she went to give me a hug afterwards. I'm like, no, I don't want a long hug. I don't need to hear about my feelings. Such a baby. I'm like, I just need to get out of this office after watching that game. I need to get outside and feel the sun on my face or something. And it's going to feel a lot better. I just need that. And this is what I say when she's bringing me lunch. It's so beautiful, Anyway. So good news is, on the way driving, I drove back to the house. And all of a sudden, it's like this magic cloud just lifted. I did just need to get out. And I felt great. I'm like, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm not upset about this game anymore. I just need to get the heck out of here. And that's it. Am I disappointed the Bills lost? Yeah, I'm disappointed. But am I over it? You know what's funny? Like, I am. I don't know how. They set you up with all the hope is what it was. The plays that you expect them not to make, and they make them. Like that touchdown with James Cook with that amazing stretch. The touchdown with Mac Hollins just reaching out. Oh, my God. Like, what a game. It's something to be happy for and excited about. But that's it. I mean, I can't do anything about it. Juan, good morning. Great to see you. Luisa, great to see you. Good morning, America, pretty much. Good morning, Gus. Half days in Tiro. Great to see you. Hey, man, I'll tell you, it was not the easiest. It was not the easiest. JJ, good to see you, man. I can see you over there on the Good Morning Marianas page. By the way, I know you guys probably already did this, but if you haven't already, follow us on the NMI News Service page. And that's the main page. You know, I really don't put anything specifically on the Good Morning Marianas page, and maybe that's a fault of mine. But because that's where I started this thing. Like, I really wanted this to be more focused on that than the whole news service. Turns out news service is way cooler because I get to do way more things and everything. I mean, I'll give you the whole history of the whole show another time. I'm in too much of a good mood this morning about it. So, but where it came from was basically get me all happy about stuff. You know, get me doing something, get me active, and get back to what my real passion is. That's doing, you know, being a conduit of information for you guys. So, man, and I'll tell you, one of those things means that people send me a lot of stuff. And, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen them also, but I've been seeing the posts of the guys out there in town. Oh, that's not the right picture. Hold on. I'm glad I didn't share this with you. Hold on 1 second. I got to save this apparently before I could just pop it up on screen because I went to Zoom for you, and it looked a little wild. So that's not it. Hold on. I promise I'm going to show this to you. Okay, let's just put it right here, and I'll put it on the screen with us. Right here. Let's put it the main screen, and I'm going to put this picture on the screen with you. And I'm sure you guys saw this too. Media source. Let's call it ICE. And I'll give you guys the little what I heard about all this stuff too, and what here for show. That's it. Yes, there we go. And I'll just move my screen over a little bit too. All right. Well, anyway, there you go. And yeah, it's that was one of the scenes from. Hold on, I'm still moving something around. There we go. Just so it's consistent. That is one of the scenes that got sent to us. Of like these federales who are in town going out and getting folks for all of the like people who might be overstaying and all that stuff. And I think this is a great topic of conversation for us. While that's one of the many things that's happening in the Marianas today, I think like that's the big one that we could talk about because it's the start of a conversation and of something that's happening. You can see that that looks. I can't tell exactly where that is, but. Those are federal dudes going out there and getting people who are not federal dudes. Hold on, I'm zooming in. So what I've got is that, I mean, like I recognize like one of those guys in uniform, and that looks like Garapan to me. And I'm pretty sure that kind of looks like that, not the 747 building, but like one of those buildings over there in Garapan. And yeah, they're going out. Yeah, it is. It is. You're right. It's the talk of the town right now. So now this is something I would say it's been building for a while, right? And they're like, this is not going to be the best share screen image because it's like I'm really heavy zoomed in on it, right? Like, I mean, this is the thing, right? I mean, this is something that's been going on for a while. It's been a topic of discussion for a while. We've known that there's a lot of people here that are way out of status, and what would ever happen if that ever got addressed? I mean, we don't have real numbers on it, right? We have no idea how many people are here that are out of status, and we don't know how many people are doing, you know, all these things, but there's a lot of people flying under the radar. When all this stuff started happening with the new administration, the president, I didn't expect that the CNMI would be the big place that would be the focus. Like, I really thought it would be more of, like, the mainland stuff. You know, you hear all that craziness about how things are over there and how people aren't paying attention to, you know, what's happening. Like, there's that whole, they took over this apartment complex in Colorado or stuff like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, go get all those bad guys, you know? Here, I just thought we were too small for them to really notice. But I mean, the signs were there, right? The clues were there that something like this was going to happen. And what are those signs? What are those clues? Well, let's start with the most recent ones from the last election in Guam when they were having their primaries for their U.S. delegate race. They were talking about illegal immigration from Saipan to Guam, from the CNMI to Guam. Like painting us like the bad guys, but making that an international issue. And I know that's a stretch to say international issue, but at least a national issue, because these are two people running for national races, right? So people in the mainland do pay attention to that kind of stuff. The next one, even more recently, is when they talked about the folks in all the cases they've been doing recently, getting all the people, plucking them off the boats that break down between here and Guam, and then rounding up the people in Guam when they crash up on the beach and dash. The crash and dash, right? They've been doing this. They've been talking about this a lot over there in Guam, and they've been in courts for like the past year, almost 2 years now, for some of these. And then they picked up people multiple times that end up coming back. Then they just talked about the birth tourism just recently at the federal level. I just didn't think they'd be here this quick. Oh, yeah, no kidding, Juan. Happy New Year. Yeah, so I didn't know. I didn't think that we would be the place that they would be going for right away. I thought they'd be basically going for all the folks in the mainland. And that seems like a much bigger task. But they're here, and they're doing it. I haven't actually seen it, but we've got reports Zaji's doing cartwheels down Beach Road. I told you! I wonder how far they go with it here. Because the first thing I got was that they were going after the taxi drivers. Yeah, I know that's not how they're trying to stem taxi driver crime. But I mean, like, I heard that's like the low-hanging fruit. That's the easy one. And then they're going to start going in and doing the deeper stuff, where they're going to get folks in a different way. But that's just the Chinese. The Chinese! They're going after the Chinese! Who else are they going after? I mean, is this a cause of concern for other folks? Oh, probably. But I mean, like, not everybody is the issue, right? I don't think everybody is the. Granted, it's not. Illegal immigration is different because it's not like we have a border that people are streaming over, right? I mean, people got here by flying here. Are there some people who maybe got off a boat somehow? Maybe, I don't know. But they probably, unless they're very strong swimmers, they got here off of a plane and they just didn't leave. That was it, right? I mean, that's our situation. It's not like the southern border of the U.S. or something like that. And unless I'm terribly mistaken, it's not like rampant violent crimes going on by these folks. Is there some kind of, yeah. Yeah. I think when IPI was in full effect, I think there were a lot of bad actors from China that were here doing a lot of bad stuff. Are they still doing it? Oh, I don't know. But I remember interviewing not this commissioner, but previous commissioners from DPS who said that, yeah, Chinese crime, organized crime in the CNMI is pretty powerful, and they're not equipped to deal with it. Like, wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. And they didn't have anyone to do any translation. So I'm like, how can you investigate crimes going on with the Chinese if you don't have someone who can speak Chinese? Brad, it's Mandarin. All right, shut up, I know. Well, it could be Cantonese. Okay, yeah, whatever. This is what's happening here. And I love this. I was actually, here's the funny thing. Hold on. I want to put this up here. 1 second. I was sending a message last night to the administration to find out some info. But the funny thing is, I don't know who's really doing it there. I don't know if Frankie's still there. I'm sure he is. I mean, he could be a conduit, but I didn't send it to him last night. But we don't have a whole lot of folks here to handle ICE work. You know, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, we don't have a whole lot of people here to do that. Now, they can fly in here and just like whoosh, throw a lot of people in that situation right away and go in to deal with it. But there's not a lot of it. You know, they don't have that many resources to go about doing it. And that would be a tall task for them to dock out. If they could even bring that many people. That's one of the big issues with the FBI and the United States Attorney's Office, because they don't have enough people. Tobot says, they don't even want to check on Guam. They're too scattered, probably all connected because they fix their houses and cars. Well, they do that here too, right? So I'm sure they're here knocking stuff out to try to do it. But is it a big... Like, I would think they wouldn't even direct their resources here, except for the fact that the folks in Guam must be saying, this is a real problem for us. Help us out. Get those illegals out of Saipan and give us a break. It must have come from there. I mean, and through through the U.S. Attorney's Office, because they're going to have to deal with all of them. But you know what is really cool? How many of you guys know about like the ICE facilities that we have here? This is not the crystal meth ICE. Again, it's the immigration and customs enforcement. Like their little secret prison. I mean, that I'm not getting all like conspiracy on it. But you know, the place over there by the old First Hawaiian on Gualarai, in between the old First Hawaiian and Ace Hardware, they got that little detention facility in there, the ICE office. It's not marked. It does say something like only authorized vehicles can park in front of here. It's on that little driveway between the Shell and Pizza Hut, right, that goes up in there. They've got a whole detention facility in there, right? And that is, like, they operate out of there and, like, totally, like, oblivious. The rest of the cinema is kind of oblivious to what's going on over there. I mean, normally, why would we? But what does Tobot say? They're going to get drained out with no days off and probably turn themselves in to their own for their mental stability. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to get a lot more expensive for taxis. And, I mean, I could see... It's if it's directed against adversaries. But I'm thinking about like everybody, all the different cultures, like who are they going to go after, who are they going to target, who are they going to focus on, and all that kind of stuff. Well, maybe it's everybody, but I think that they're probably going to be leaning more on the Chinese. Got that accent. Because it seems a little, overzealous out here. But we had a massive industry here. We had a lot of people that came in as tourists to do construction that just decided to stick around. And not to mention the holdovers from like the garment days. A lot of people flying under the radar. And they're here. They're here to deal with it now. Well, let us know your thoughts. Give us a call. I know we're in the comments, but you can let us know in the comments. Here's one. It says, especially since the local immigration changed, the federal a lot ended up overstaying. Yeah, that's true. That's JJ over at the Good Morning Marianas page. You guys give us a call. Let us know what you think about this stuff. Number is 789-2323. 670-789-2323. I mean, this is we want to know what you think. And by we, I guess me. But the audience wants to know what you think, too. Because it's happening all over in the Marianas now, but it's happening all over the U.S. Let us know what you think about this. Have you got any thoughts? Right, wrong? We're not making any judgments on you, Tobot. I'm just here for the comments. That's right. Get your popcorn ready. But that's just one snapshot of what's going on here, and well, what's going on everywhere, all over the mainland now. If it's a bigger issue, what does it say? This was a comment that said, ICE agents wonder if they actually have a deportation fund. Last time overstaying tourists were reported they stipulated they were only going after heinous criminal activity and undocumented persons committing felonies. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what their priorities are this time. And we're just here for the ride. We're just watching it all go down and see how this stuff happens. But that's the talk. That's the big thing that's happening right now. There's folks out there. And I'd encourage you guys, if you see cool stuff happening like that. Oh, yeah, so that's the road behind Saipan Computer Services. Yeah. That definitely. Okay, so I was off by a couple streets. But that's where it is. Yeah, so if you got some ideas, you got some thoughts, please let us know because, I want to hear them. And I definitely would like to hear the new, a different perspective or the same, pile on if you want to. But if you got some thoughts about all this stuff, then let us know. How often do you get to talk about this kind of stuff? You can today. 789-2323. All right, and while we wait on that, we could talk about, we could literally talk about anything today. But I think that's the number one thing that people are going to be interested in. That, holy cow, but what really becomes of the federal raids in Saipan? I feel like I remember there was one in 2018. Was it 2018 or 2019? When they raided the governor's office, his house, his attorneys, whatever came of that. Nothing. This is a different kind of raid. These guys have their own little court, like the ICE court, immigration court. It's different. I don't know. I think that things will move along a little bit. It's funny, though. I don't know if you guys have heard some of the stories of how they have kind of screwed it up a little bit. Not this time, necessarily. But when they have been trying to repatriate people, deport them, there was this one guy who they needed to... Let's see what we got. Just a moment. All right, this is something that's coming my way. Just asking to share something. Hold on. But yeah, so let's get back to that part where I was saying that they had screwed something up before. I can't remember the guy. He was a Chinese national. They were trying to deport him and get him out. And all right, I will send this over to the other account. Thank you for sending that to me. I will put that on there. Appreciate it. Let me forward this over. Forward to the other phone so I can put it up on the screen for you. There you go. Thank you. All right. Good stuff. All right. Anyway, so they were trying to repatriate this guy back to China. The guy did not want to go to China. This is the guy, I believe, is the guy who is that big styrofoam board protesting guy. Have you heard about that one? Good morning. Oh, man, that's great. June, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so they were trying to repatriate that guy who had the big foam board. Remember, he was talking about CCCP or CCP terrorists and USA, blah, 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 all that stuff. So they were flying with him, and they have to escort him. And they were holding on to all his paperwork because they want to make sure that, and then they were going to hand it to him when they got to China and give him his passport. Well, apparently, the authorities in Japan, when he was checking in, gave him his passport back when he was already entered into Japan, at the airport. And he ripped it up and sought asylum. He's like, I'm not a Chinese citizen. I'm like, totally gummed that one up. Hilarious story. Ann says, it's so scary to be in the mainland right now. What if they mistake folks for immigrants? Yeah, I know. It has one of those feelings. Let me see your papers. Show me your papers. So that's one, and it's happening. That's happening. I've already read stories about that, Ann, where that's happened to folks where they've been saying, hey, you know, what's your citizenship? That to me is like, so that's, how do you approach it, right? Like one of the great freedoms that we're supposed to have as Americans is the freedom to travel. You know, we can travel across the whole United States. You don't need ID unless you're driving, right? You really don't. And that was one of the great things. That's why I don't like the Real ID program. I know some people like it. You know, I'm like, no, I do not like the Real ID program. I don't think we need a federalized service identification card for driving that is for everything else. Nope. You have a passport if you want, but I don't think they should link it to your driving at all. It shouldn't be linked to your driving at all. But it is. I don't like it. That's my take, right? Why does there need to be a federal database for driving? I don't think it is. You're not licensed by the state, or you are licensed by the state, not by the by the federal government for your driver's license. So why would your license be linked to a national program? I don't think you need it. That's just my take. You might have a better one, and I might change my mind because yours is better. All right. But they are going around and they have been asking people, you know, for their citizenship and all that other stuff. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if they've got all that stuff figured out. You know, at one level, yeah, I don't know how it works. Like if you're not in a border area, can they just roll up and say, "Can I see your ID?" You say no, unless you're suspected of committing a crime. They can't do that to you, right? So if you just say no, say, are you from the U.S.? If your answer is like, "See," probably not the right answer. Hey, but that's not fair. I know. I'm just telling you. Or it's like, gay. That's going to be a bigger issue in the mainland. Not so much for us here. And that's it. Well, you know, I got some thoughts. Norman. If you are not as handsome as Brad, they will ask you for your ID. Dude. Hi, a day. That's hilarious. All right, well, we're not going to go too far away, but I think that's the main talk today is about that. So if you've got, by the way, you guys, keep sending me stuff. If you get those photos, if you see something happening and take a cool photo, send it my way, please. And I will get it out there and get the word out. By the way, an overwhelming response that we received to the video from John Ogo yesterday, the San Vicente resident who's saying he's going to close the road down at the beginning of March because it's been 30 years and he hasn't received payment for his roads, the land that has been used for the roads. And that's kind of a big deal. It says, all right, so Robert Nakaifas Kaipat says, driver's license are accepted to travel anywhere without a passport. So why worry about driver's license being federalized? All right, so that's great. Driver's license are accepted to travel anywhere without a passport. You're just talking about in the mainland. That only counts in the mainland. You don't need it for anywhere else. So like your real ID doesn't work in Cancun, like to be able to fly there, or for us to fly to Palau. Your real ID is nothing there. That's what I'm getting at. Why would you get a federalized identification card if not that? Why not just have everyone have a passport so they can go everywhere and they make passport cards. Just get a passport card. Like I'll if given the option, I'll never get a real ID. I'll only get like the passport and the passport card as opposed to linking that, because it just doesn't make sense. Like it seems like, and I'm getting at that, I think, Robert, because like I'm not a liberal, I'm not a conservative. I'd say more like kind of in the middle, like a don't mess with me, I won't mess with you kind of guy, right? Like I guess that's kind of libertarian, but I'm not. I don't know if I really have a label. And for something like that, I'm like, why are you getting involved? Why would, like I think a lot of the things for the Patriot Act could be rolled back. You know, like, I don't think we need all the stuff that we have with the Patriot Act. Like, I would roll back passports coming from Canada, for sure. I would get rid of that, because that's not the issue. I think right now it sounds crazy what they're saying about Canada. Okay, let's see. It says, I do think it's about time for ICE to do their jobs. If they come in with documents, then good, no problem. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, that's why I am not like the bleeding heart liberal guy, as they call them, right? I don't dislike anybody or whatever, but I don't automatically get to the side of, oh, how dare they? No. If you came to the country under other than legal means, then yeah. Now, if you've proven yourself, so that's the other thing, though. Like, I like the idea of where you can prove yourself. Not like, what was the UFC show? Ultimate, what was that show Frank the Crank was on? It was like the Ultimate Fighter reality show. I can't remember what it was called. But only for citizenship. No, I'm not saying you fight like that for citizenship. But I'm saying that I like the idea, and where there's a pathway opened up for citizenship if you serve in the military. Like, all right, bang, we got you. You're caught. Here's your options. We send you on a plane, or you can, we'll get you in there. No, not UFC banana ketchup. That is excellent. But I like the idea of letting people prove themselves, or, you know, like, earn your citizenship through service. But you know what the funny thing is? I know this is not going to be the most popular thing too, but I'm okay with that for if they get rid of, it was The Ultimate Fighter. That's what it's called. Hey, thanks so much, John. Appreciate that. I wouldn't be like opposed to, like, I like the idea of just everybody having some compensatory service. After you're done with high school, before you go to college, everybody does, like, it's like Korea, where everybody has to do, I think, 2 years. And I think that really helps galvanize the nation, because everybody gets to work with everybody from everywhere. If you are a fancy rich kid, you're going to be serving with some not fancy rich kids. Now, after your 2 years is done, you can go to school. You want to be an officer, great. Come back in. All that stuff is there for you. But I think right after you turn like 18, right after you graduate high school, boom, basic training. Together. Everybody does the same thing. It would be something that our entire nation could share together. We've all had that common experience of being a member of the defense forces of our nation. I think it would bring people together. It would definitely train people up on a lot of different things and give people like a real perspective of, you know, where they are in the world. And if you can't do that, I haven't thought about the what happens if you can't do that. Because there's some people who physically and mentally can't do it, right? Physically, specifically. And I don't mean by choice. People who weren't blessed with the same gifts that, like, so many of us have, right? And maybe there becomes some kind of a core for people with some sort of disabilities. I'm not sure what that is. Like the military auxiliary, I mean, you wouldn't be able to hit the same physical standards necessarily, but these are people who are sharp as a tack who can help in other things. So maybe there's another way. I haven't figured that part out. It might come as a shock. I haven't figured out all the world's problems. If I did, I would write them every day and put them in the variety so it would be just me and Ambrose every day. Brad, you're such an ass. I know. Hold on, let me go back to where we're at here in the comments. Sorry, I missed this one. These things pop up. I'm all for what's going on here and in the mainland. If it wasn't for the illegal immigrants, if you came in properly, why we're like, yeah, I get you. I got you. I'm with you on that. Hold on, let's go up here. What about the situation with FSM passport that was posted on Facebook recently? You know, I don't know about that one. Jojo, I have no idea about that. What's going on? Could you give me some info on it? I hadn't heard about that. Good morning, Bobby. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this is great. Oh, Norman. That's great. I'm just scrolling up in the comments right now, just catching up with you guys. Yeah, but this is the talk of the town. You're right, Louisa. This is what people are talking about. It was baseball, and now it's not baseball. Now it's ice playing hardball. Rob Van Winkle, Vanilla Ice. They're here, and they're going on. I'm with you though, man. Vincent, I'm with you on that as well. Like I agree. You know, people are out there. If they got here under legal means, then that's fine. Like that's like a great thing about the country. Like I've delivered the speech at the naturalization ceremonies twice. And it was an honor to be asked to do that, and it was an honor to present that because like my great-grandparents were immigrants. You know, they immigrated legally, and it's a great story. And the reasons why they did it, you know, in search of a better life. I don't think that the other folks are doing it in a different way. I think they're trying to do the same thing. But you got to do it the right way, right? I mean, there's a reason for it. Excuse me. If we have generations of people who did it the right way. Yeah. Yeah, and if we got generations of people doing it the right way, and even, yes, are there people who are like, no, this country's white. We need to keep this country white. Make America white again. Okay, I'm sure they're out there, right? I know. But a lot of people get labeled negatively just because they say that they want people to do it the right way, the way their forefathers did it, right? That's what they're asking for, and they get labeled badly, you know? So I think that it's not a bad thing. And hold on, just zip it back up. Jojo, thanks. Please do screenshot it and send it our way. And you can WhatsApp it, because I don't think you can put photos in the comment section. I wish you could. It would be so much easier. But if you WhatsApp it to the show, our phone lines are open, again, 789-2323, but you can WhatsApp to that number. You could send the photos to that number also, and we could pop them on there. And if you send us pictures of things happening in the community and you don't want us to tell you or tell anybody, hey, you could use it, but don't tell anyone it was me, yeah, that's fine. Just don't send me creepy stuff. Yep. All right. Yeah, John, no kidding. I am serious. We had, one sec. I think I need to make myself another cup of coffee. I'm coughing like a champ. We had Galvin and Adam come in from NMC to talk about the Pro publications. And Galvin's like, I just thought you had a production person helping you with this. No, can't believe it. You're doing this all yourself. Yep, that's right. Maybe that's it for you to come in and help out. That would be awesome. It says, those guys were told to report to work because no more work from home. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe all those ICE guys were working remotely all this time. That's why we weren't getting stuff done. Maybe that was going on with the FBI too. All those guys were working remotely. All of a sudden, President Trump says, nope, you can't work from home anymore. Now stuff's happening. That should have been happening for years. You guys are hilarious. Oh my God, that is classic. Hey, but the thing is, let's get back to like brass tacks though, right? Everyone's got a kuya here who's can hook them up with like some kind of work at the house, right? I love having that. Like I don't have like someone I could call on as a regular. Jojo, I got your message. I just got it. You heard the notification just now. Okay, let's pull this up. Put it on the old computer and see what we got here. So JoJo sent me this thing that, and you know, I don't know where this came from. Did this actually come from the FSM? It says from the FSM embassy to the United States. So I've got this image from you. Hold on, I'm going to share this with you real quick. So this is what JoJo just sent me. All right. And so thanks for sending this. This was the public announcement for FSM citizens in the United States. And here it is. It's kind of like a warning, or kind of like, not a warning, but like we're giving you a heads up. And hold on just for a second. I just want to see, before I get too deep into that, I just want to make sure it's official. Let's see if I can't find the official update. This was from 3 days ago from USCIS, usembassy.gov. I don't doubt the authenticity of that. I just want to see if I can't find it on one of the official sites before we start getting deep into it. You know what I mean? So just give me a quick second. Someone just sent me another message. 1 second. Oh, this is, by the way, okay. We're going to get to that message that you just sent me about food stamp. We will talk about that. I 100% will talk about that. Because I've got, I'll tell you something about that. 1 second. FSM Embassy. Here, this is it. Okay, so, JoJo, I just wanted to find this. JoJo, so thanks for sending that. Before we got into that, I didn't want to start going down the rabbit hole on something like, in case it wasn't legit, which it was, right? We're looking at it right now. This is the FSM Embassy website. So now I could say that this is 100% legit. All right? Sound good? All right, let's get into it. All right. So it says the update is a reminder for FSM citizens residing in the United States and its territories. The embassy is closely monitoring the incoming administration's policies on immigration and other issues of interest to our citizens. We want to assure you that the FSM embassy in Washington, D.C. is in close collaboration with its partners, is closely tracking the new policies as they are unfolding. The situation is very fluid at the moment, and we are working to assess the impacts these changes may have on FSM citizens, if any. We will issue future updates if and when needed. As a general matter, and regardless of any changes in policy under the new administration, we encourage all FSM citizens to do the following. Please keep in your close and immediate possession the relative documents that are used as evidence of your lawful status while residing in the United States. These include your valid, unexpired FSM passport and copy of your I-94. It says the link for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security I-94 info page is provided in the box to the right. So you'll see that on that link there. It says, should you encounter any situation that may warrant immediate and urgent attention, please contact the nearest FSM office in the U.S., including the FSM Embassy in D.C. and FSM Consulate Generals in Guam, Honolulu, and Portland. See the box at the right for that contact info. And it says, please keep yourself informed on these issues by following the FSM Embassy Facebook page and monitoring FSM Embassy website. Links to these are on the right also. So basically, you're getting a heads up from the FSM government. They're saying, hey, stuff's going down. Don't get caught up in it, right? You're not one of these targets, but make sure you have that stuff on you just in case. So I think that's what that is. That's a heads up. But again, that's where it's got that feel. Show us your papers. Let me see your papers. Like the freedom of travel in the United States was one of our freedoms. It was one of our things. It says, ooh, Guam peeps going to start with the deport now that Trump is cracking down on this. Yeah, they might, but for crimes, right? But I don't think that they're going to be doing it for for just regular citizens, like regular folks from the FSM. I don't think there's anything for them to worry about. I mean, how many people do you know? How many people do we all know from anywhere in the FSM? They're awesome, right? And then, just like anywhere else, you get some bad ones, right? So for the bad ones who get in trouble, yeah, send them to where they came from so they can be bad over there, right? And that could be anywhere. I mean, that could be anyone from anywhere. But, like, everyone else is cool. I mean, right? I mean, that's where I get some of my best dance moves. You're welcome, JoJo. You're welcome. So it's good news to have. I don't know that would be an issue here, because if they start walking around to random islanders in the CNMI asking for their stuff, I think people are going to lose their they're going to lose it. And I'd be part of that too. I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, like, come on, let's think about your average haole coming out here from the mainland. They can't tell the difference between someone who's Palauan, Chuukese, Chamorro, or Carolinian. No. When they first come out here, they're just like, nope, everybody's the same. I don't know. I don't think that there's like a know your islander like identification book. So they wouldn't know what they're doing anyway. I think they're just going out for at least here, I think they're going for the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit being the folks who are like from one of our adversarial nations, and that just happens to be China. All right, so let's get back to this, though, because you sent me this message, Cleve. It says, why don't you bring up the food stamp scam, where stores buy food stamps from Purple and give cash less than the value. Then the tweakers go buy dope, and no one cares when the kids suffer in hunger. Yep. That is an issue. I don't know. Oh, man, that is a real issue. And there should be a real crackdown on that. And so I have thought about it. Go figure. By using those cards instead of using the food stamp coupons, right? The actual stamps. When they just use the EBT cards, that you just go and swipe. So it is linked to everything that you order. So you can only get the stuff you're allowed to get with the EBT card. It'll, in those registers and all that stuff, it shows, hey, this is eligible, this isn't eligible, and you will deduct from your amount from there, right? You don't have to, there's no cash change on those deals either, right? So if we update our systems here, I think we'll be a lot better. But yeah, hell yeah, I know that stuff happens, you know? By the way, you know, that's the same thing with like that dude walking around with the backpack all the time. Say, okay, can you please help me? My grandma is sick and my daughter, and we haven't eaten in like 3 days. And and these guys talk so fast. You know, I don't know what he's on, but you know, he gives me the same story. This has to be the worst sickness in the history of sicknesses. I swear his family's been sick for 8 years. And those 3 days, unless this dude is Bill Murray living on Groundhog Day, he's got the same friggin' story for about at least 8 years. And that's 8 years since I heard it from the first time, right? Like, and this guy, I'd say no to the money. I bought him a sandwich, I got him this, I got him that. I went to get him groceries. The lady at the store told me he comes back in to sell the groceries back for the money. That's why I totally cut him off. I'm like, I'm not even getting you a sandwich anymore. Maybe I'd give him an apple, because I don't think any of the stores will buy back an apple if I give it to him. But like that guy lost me as a person who was kind enough to help him out. I shouldn't say kind enough. Who's normal enough to help them out, because I think people are normal in their wanting to help people in their lives. And he lost me. And like, don't even talk to me anymore. Like, I said that to him once. I felt really bad about that. Let's see. Let's scroll. Yeah, and it was in CK. For real. It was in CK when I did that. That was the store. That was the guy. That guy knocks on the windows, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, just, yeah. It says here in the mainland, they'll just look for the stickers on their cars. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Tobot, hey, that message resonates deep. He's like, hey, man, people making their kids suffer so they can get their necks fixed. That is messed up. It is. Robert says, yeah, like in the mainland. Sorry, when I scroll down for the comments, they jump right back up. He said, yeah, like in the mainland, Carolinians are considered north or south yet. That was about the ICE agent. Howleys, when they come out here, they don't know the difference between everybody. John says, he asked me for a change, but I didn't have any, so I offered a prayer and he turned it down. Yeah, isn't that awful? I know. Yeah, I hear you, John. Jerome, I hear you, for sure. But that's just it. That's our big issue. That's what's happening. So, and you know, how does it affect us? How do we deal with all this stuff? You know, again, in the mainland, it's a different ball game, because, like, I don't think it's a bad thing in the mainland for all this. Here's a question. It says, how about the NBA meeting that just happened? Any thoughts on potential solutions for our low tourism? So when they have those meetings, I don't usually get a whole lot of new info out of them. What those meetings are, this is my perspective of it. Those general membership meetings it's the opportunity for you to hear from MVA, but not so much our local MVA. You'll hear like our local MVA managing director talk, but it's really them turning it over to the people that MVA has contracted in our foreign offices, like Korea and Japan, to say, this is what we've been doing, and this is how we gauge the effectiveness. Here's what the story is on the ground. Here's what we think about it. And then they'll get into it. I mean, they'll give you a lot of numbers. I think you get buried in spreadsheets and PowerPoint, and it's not a real dynamic thing. What I would really love to, if they did, is that if they injected a little bit of energy with it, because I think that is better for our folks here. You got folks who are from corporate-minded folks from Korea or from Japan, give a very uninspirational presentation. One that is perfect for like a board meeting, one that is not for people whose livelihoods depend on how they do. If I'm hearing from a marketing agency that's got the charge of taking care of our ability to market our destination, our only real economic driver, save for federal aid, I want to hear something that's exciting. You guys have such a great place here. And I live in Japan, and it's not as cool, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, Japan's Japan, but like, if you really want to get people to come from Japan, here's some of the things, and here's where I think we can do with this. And so here's our plan. We're basing our plan based on this. These events, boom, boom, boom. This is how we're going to punch up those plans, boom, boom, boom. All those events that you already have, this is what's working, this is what doesn't. So our plan is this, doom, doom, doom. So I've been a member of the ad hoc committee for Japan and the ad hoc committee for Korea when I was with MBA's as a representative for, you know, at Triple J. And the way they operate is crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Even locally, I just think it's some of it I just think is just going in the wrong direction. Hold on, let me open this up real quick. Somebody just sent me something. Oh no. Ooh, jeez. Okay, never mind. I'll get to those later. But thank you for sending those. Yeah. So the have you guys seen the new sign that's up there in Marpy? You know where the Saipan sign is, right? The big one that's like on the way down the Grotto or Bird Island after you go down the little winding S-curves. So that's there. Pretty cool, right? Before you even go down there, though, by that where it splits, where you go down that way or you go up to Suicide Cliff, they've got that new half a day tier row sign. So that money came from MVA, and MVA had assigned $50,000 for the Korea Ad Hoc Committee, and $50,000 for the Japanese ad hoc committee. The Japanese ad hoc committee decided, well, we should give everybody who comes here $20 from Japan so that they could spend it. To me, it sounded like empty. Like, why are we spending? Nobody's flying to Saipan for $20, right? Who the heck's coming to here for an extra $20? No, those are the tour agents who just want to give that to their customers. Nobody's flying to Saipan over Hawaii just because they're like, well, you know, I was going to go to Honolulu, Waikiki. I was thinking about like hiking up to the volcanoes, maybe the Stairway to Heaven, you know, all that stuff. But you know what? Those guys in Saipan are giving me $20. Come on, dude. No. Now here's the other part. The $50,000 that they gave to the Korean ad hoc committee, they didn't even let them choose what they want to do with it. Would you like to hear more? I will tell you more. So I had these conversations with them. So they said, you know, all of a sudden the marketing manager for NBA came in and said, hey, we're going to make this sign. So that's where we're going to spend our $50,000. We think we should make a sign. The Korean ad hoc committee. It doesn't have anything to do with the Korean market at all. I mean, it's just tourism in general. So they had this design for a Half Aloha sign, and it was going to cost $50,000. They did it through that Ideal Signs. Great company, by the way. I mean, they do great work. But anyway, $50,000 they paid them to make this sign. Did that ad hoc committee get to look at a picture of it? No. Was it the ad hoc committee? Let me start over a step before that. Was it the Korean ad hoc committee's idea to spend the $50,000 on that sign? No. Where did it come from? Chris and Tom. And I'll tell you why it was those guys in a second. I'll come back to that answer. But after that the decision was made to put the sign up, was there a open bid process for who gets the sign? No. After the decision to make a sign was made, was there any artist renderings that people got to vote on or decide on? No. So they just said, this is how we're spending the money that we just allocated to you, while the Japanese ad hoc committee got $50,000 to figure out what they were going to do with it, and I thought it was foolish how they spent it anyway. They basically just said, no, this is what we're doing. So I asked Tom, I said, Tom, this is not how committees work, dude. I was a little more cordial than that, but Tom being like the highest ranking management member who was in the room, I'm like, so Tom, I've been a part of a lot of committees for a lot of organizations, and none of them have this. So where did this come from? He's like, well, management. I'm like, well, who's management? He's like, well, me and Chris. Actually, he put it all on Chris, not him. And I'm like, so it's not a committee decision. You've already done it. You've already signed the contract, and they're already breaking ground on it. So why would you even tell us that this was a thing? So, and then I asked about like this design for that half-a-day TRO sign. Great message. No, it wasn't even sealed bidding, Toba. There was no bid. That's the thing. There was no process. That's one. So the other one is, I said, are you worried about people climbing on that thing and getting hurt? They're like, oh, people aren't going to climb on that. I'm like, I don't know what kind of stuff you smoke over here. But, man, over at that Saipan sign, that's only that level, everybody climbs on that. Well, you know, they're not supposed to. Okay, great. You must be a smart guy, because telling people that's how it works. It doesn't work that way. People climb all over that Saipan sign. I've been climbing on it. My kids climb on it. That's one of their favorite things to do if they're going to take a picture there. That half-a-day sign, the half-a-day part, because the half goes up in the air, holy crap. Guarantee people are climbing off of that. I just don't know. I'm like, how long do you think before somebody falls off of that thing? So anyway, it's cool. I don't think that it's a bad sign or anything like that. But like there was no anything that went through it. And all that's just context for NBA. And all that is to answer what you were talking about there. Because you asked. So there you go. I was frustrated by it. I'm not going to lie. And I'm like, this is part and parcel with like some of the things I don't like about what's going on over there. Keep in mind, I know everybody's out there, and I believe that they're doing what they think is the best. So there you go. I don't think there's any nefarious people over there, but I just don't think that they're doing, at least in that instance, maybe a couple others, maybe great stuff. You guys in the comments are killing me. It's great. This one says, my neighbor has 6 kids, always hungry, and he's always waiting for food stamps to trade for dope. No one helps them, and no one seems to care. Man, that pissed me off. Because, those food stamps aren't even for him. Those food stamps are probably, listed. It's for the kids. All that money that comes in, all that kind of aid just goes for that. That's why I think if they could upgrade the system to match what it does in the mainland, you can't get away with that kind of stuff. I mean, there's probably a way around it no matter where you go, whatever you do. And that happened. A question came in, how long is enough before it's obvious that MVA is not producing and needs improvement? Oh. Just comes as a surprise. But I have some thoughts on that. So, one thing that you notice between all these organizations is that there's one main driver. And it's not necessarily the best interests of the CNMI, or maybe it is. It depends on how you want to fashion that argument. But, I mean, the people who have the most control in these organizations are the people who have the biggest investments in these organizations on the private side. And that's not saying that they're evil people or anything like that, because they want to steer some folks. They want their businesses to succeed. And they want to hopefully direct the CNMI in a direction that'll help their businesses succeed as well. And so I think that creates a little bit of a myopic vision for the CNMI when we should be looking a little broader. Hey, man, whatever it is, everybody wants the CNMI to succeed, right? It's not, nobody wants us to fail. Even that company that we were talking about doesn't want us to fail. But they would like them to succeed. And they invested so much money into the Commonwealth and continue to. And not just on stuff that'll make them money, because it doesn't. They invest a lot into the overall community. And rather than be vague, I'm just talking about Tan Holdings. All right? Tan Holdings is the Chamber. Tan Holdings is HandMe. Tan Holdings is MVA. All right, that sounds like it's not positive, right? Tan Holdings is also the Soccer Federation. Tan Holdings is also the Northern Marianas Sports Association. They are. So, that gym right down the street, the track and field, baseball, who do you think's paying for that? It is not the CNMI government. No, but DCC, no. There's no money. There's the money. Tan Holdings is bankrolling that whole facility down there. Through all their efforts with soccer and networking nationally, internationally with soccer, Tan Holdings is really heavily supporting the FA, the Football Association is what they call it. They do all that stuff. Nobody's going to say boo about that, because that's a great thing. They are giving back to the community, right? So do they get a lot out of it? Yeah. But are they working for it? Yes. They put in a lot. They want it to succeed. Now, does that give them pretty big piece in it. Yeah. I mean, is that a little like a disillusionment? I don't think this is a big surprise for anybody, right? It's not a big surprise that, but they're smart folks, but that's their whole business is being in business also, right? And being successful and then driving the economy, right? So, like, the whole march toward the China market, they're really heavily vested in that. They know that that's going to be a big win for them. Why isn't Crown Plaza crush it on the Korean side? They're not. I don't think they were designed to do that. Now, that's not fair for me. That's just my presumption from the outside. But because they are really stacked up to hit the China market hard. So that's why they really want to do that. And they know that is once we can turn that spigot on, they're going to flow in, and so will the dollars, right? And so when you hear like things from the chamber and from Hand-Me, that's pretty much where it comes from. And that you're getting the same thing from MVA because of all the folks who are a part of it. Well, Brad, that's not fair. Well, I think it is. I think it's accurate. But that, again, that's just my perspective. And it might not be wrong. You guys don't get to just say, well, Brad said it, so that's how it is. No, that's not fair, because that's not it. But, you choose what you like. I'll tell you what, I like that Tan Holdings does so much for the community. They do a ton of stuff. Does that mean that they get more say? I don't know. I would like it to be just a little more plain and easy for everyone to see all that stuff. That's pretty cool and easy to me. But again, like, I'm not bashing them. I'm not negative about it. But I mean, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, that's what's going on. And so that's why, I don't know. Maybe I'll just put a pin in that one for now. Maybe that's a good time for a commercial. Hey, but I'll tell you what, they're reasonable and they're smart, and I can learn a lot from them, and I think everybody can. So it's not a bad thing. Like, it's been a good thing for us. Just catching up with you guys in the comments. Louisa, this was about the sign up north. I climbed the sign and regretted it because it's harder to climb back down. Yeah, and if it's wet, that's what I was telling him. Like, imagine if it rains. Robert says that was talk with Toba about, like, it's who you know. He's like, yeah, right, and not what you know. Yeah. It says, right, when are rich businesses going to get more invested in our tourism challenges? I think it depends on which businesses. Like Tan Holdings, I'll tell you what, they are pretty vested in the tourism challenges. They do a lot. They do cleanup stuff. They do a great to maintain the properties, the continued reinvestment in the community. I think they're there. And that youth sports and the sports, you're right, Luis. I mean, like, this stuff doesn't show up and be flashy, but like, they converted, like, so Tan Holdings, remember all the garment factories? Like, they got old warehouses, and they transform them into sporting facilities. Like, one does basketball, badminton, and soccer, like futsal. Awesome. And they've done that for years. I mean, it is outstanding. Oh, like, and when I say years, I mean years, because it's been about maybe 2011, 2012 since that Gillette Center opened on Middle Road. Because that's when I was still doing national team stuff, and I was still going to that stuff. Like, that's how long ago it was. So it's been a while. So they contribute massively, and also they coordinate donations that go into, like, all those kids soccer jerseys, like the public school or not just public school, but public schools. I don't think the private schools get the jerseys. It just goes to the public schools, but. The elementary, middle, and high school soccer uniforms, full kit, jerseys, shorts, and socks, all donated. Now, the last time it was done, it was through the JFA, the Japan Football Association. But that was through a court. That's not like they just called up PSS, said, hey, we want to help you out, Saipan. No, that was 100% coordinated through the NMIFA, our local soccer association. Who's that again? Tan Holdings. So they made that happen. Yes, they're massively invested in this kind of stuff. I like Toba. He's like, yeah, I need to build a scaffold first to climb up that thing. Yeah, it's a big sign. It is pretty cool. Hey, I want to say I appreciate you guys for sending in all those comments. And just a reminder that you guys can call 789-2323, 670-789-2323. All right, now I've been on a little bit of a roll. Understatement. So we're going to take a real quick break. I'm not going to go anywhere too far, but I want to tell you about a couple of things. So one of them is this is an ongoing challenge over at Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness. It is the 2025 Shred and Conquer. It's the Fat Loss Challenge program, and it's brought to you by Michelob Ultra and Ghost Energy Drink. It's brought to you really by Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness, and there's over $2,000 in cash and prizes that are at stake. Ooh, steak. I know. All right, you can find out more about that from calling 235-2265, or you can check them out at laddiebuilt.com. And you can still join it. You just be a little bit, you missed the first mini competition that they have in there, where they're checking people out every couple of weeks and doing their assessment and everything. It's really cool. We did this video with Coach Derek, and he told us all about it, and we'll share that with you tomorrow. All right. Anyway, speaking of Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness, by the way, you know they're open 24 hours a day, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you say you have no time. They have all the time that you need. And here, let's hear a little bit more about it right here.
Hey, I'm Coach Derek Cutting, the owner and founder of Laddie Built Fitness. So no matter who you talk to here at Laddie Built, everyone feels that they are part of a family, part of a group of like-minded people. No one feels judged. No one feels like they're being teased or picked on or looked down upon because maybe they don't know what they're doing. They could be brand new and have no idea what they're doing. They might be overweight or really skinny and feel very self-conscious about themselves. But at Laddie Built, nobody judges here. And if you ask anybody here that might be in better shape than you or even not, but has experience in the gym, they will gladly help you through a workout and teach you a few techniques that can help you. So Laddie Built organically from day one, since the boot camp era, has organically grown this fostered environment of community and being a safe place, but a strong work ethic community of people that want to get work done. All I can say is that I put my heart and soul into it from day one. I treated everyone like that at the boot camp from the very, very beginnings, and everyone at the same time would treat each other like that from the boot camp era as well. And as we grew, as we got into a brick and mortar facility, we got bigger and bigger. I feel like people definitely just take this place as a home, as like their brother and sisters are working out next to them, not their enemy or not their competitor, So organically, it's just the vibe here is different. Everyone feels very, very comfortable, and I love the fact that it happened like that.
Paradise Dental's giving you the gas. Well, not that kind of gas. You already know that Paradise Dental has the most affordable coverage in the entire Marianas, and now we've got something special just for new customers. And now for a limited time, Paradise Dental is offering free gas vouchers for new signups for their coverage plan. If you sign up for a singles plan, you'll get a $10 gas voucher. If you sign up for a couples plan, that's a $15 gas voucher. And if you sign up for the whole family plan, that's a $20 gas voucher right after your first visit. So hurry down to Paradise Dental and sign up for the CNMI's most affordable dental coverage today. These gas vouchers are limited, and with smiles like these, you know they're gonna go fast. play this song every single time, but I like it. This is one of the new ones that we busted out. Hey guys, you're taking a look at traffic. That is Ole I. Things are hustling and bustling here as it is 8:47 in the morning here in Saipan. That is Chamorro Standard Time, the most delicious sounding time in the world. Hey, it's 82 degrees outside right now, and we're looking at a beautiful Saipan day. Mostly sunny skies, a high near 86. And again, we're gonna have a nice light breeze. It's gonna get a little gusty, up to 18 miles per hour, but that's just enough to make it perfect when you're out there at the beach, running around at lunch so you're not all sweaty fafa all day, all night. Hey, tonight it's gonna be partly cloudy, a low near 76, and again, the wind is not dying down at all. That's pretty wild. Tomorrow it's gonna be beautiful as well. So you got lots of great weather all week long. It's gonna be mostly sunny today, mostly sunny tomorrow, mostly sunny on Thursday, and it looks like all the way, as far as we could see, it's going to be mostly sunny, so we're loving it. Hopefully, you guys are okay out there in California. I see that you're out there in Concord, and I hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for tuning in, Robert. Really appreciate seeing you guys here for sure. All right, and I want to say good morning to a couple other folks. June, I saw that you're out there. I didn't get to you now, but Bea, good to see you this morning. Also, thanks so much for tuning in as we talk about some of these big issues happening in Saipan right now. Again, the immigration stuff was the big thing that all of a sudden, like, the WhatsApps are burning up. Ooh, did you see this? Ooh, did you see this? Did you hear about this? Well, yeah, I mean, that was like crazy. So we'll find out how much more they do about that throughout the day. I don't think it's a one and done kind of story, but I have been fooled before. Like I had thought they were going to be doing more things, and it just did not happen that way. But anyway, we'll see what happens this time around because we're in it now. We are entering week 2 of the Trump administration, part 2. In fact, did you see that? In fact, I got to pull this up because there's a guy from Tennessee. I don't remember if he's a representative or a senator, but I did post this on our page last week. He's from the House of Representatives from Tennessee, a representative, what's his first name? Andy Ogles. Isn't that the worst? That's great for someone who, he even looks a little creepy. Sorry, Andy, I don't mean it because I don't know you. I wouldn't say, I'm looking at you, Andy, and you look a little creepy, because that would be a weird thing to say. He probably is a nice guy, but you can see what he's saying on there. He's already proposing to amend the Constitution. He wants to change the 22nd Amendment to allow President Trump to serve a third term. Now, that hasn't happened. I was having this conversation with our kids over the weekend. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he was the last president. He actually was elected 4 times, and that was during the Second World War. He didn't survive his 4th term. He succumbed to the elements, to his old age and everything, and he had his ailments, I should say. But I thought he was one of our greatest presidents. And but he was doing that like to kind of keep us a steady management through the Second World War, right? And that's not what's happening now, at least hopefully. And so this is an interesting thing. I think it's going to be interesting for years. When everybody freaks out, every single time something gets posted, every time a statement comes out or a new executive order, like it almost made that first week seem like the first year in office. But there's a lot of stuff that people got fired up about, I guess. And let's see. Oh, Tobot. Tobot's he wants to tint the presidential motorcade, I'm sure. He is offering Shady Solutions, the tint man from Dan is. Have you, by the way, cool thing about this, we haven't talked about it for a while. You know what? I don't know why, Tobot. By the way, let's see if we can grab a beverage today. I got something at 2:30. I don't know if I can make it around that time. But he's like, hey, I had a beautiful bad day yesterday, tinted one windshield 3 times. Oh, my gosh, that's your 3rd term. He says, geez, that hasn't happened to me in over 20 years now, about to throw in the towel. No way. So Tobot, in case you guys don't know, if you're relatively new to the show, Tobot is the tint man from Dan Dan. He does cars, he does offices, he does homes, you name it, and he gives you a great deal. The guy's not trying to make $1 million, and if he does make $1 million, hopefully he'll share that with us. I don't expect that, but no, it'll be pretty neat. So he's done our office here. He's done the windows down at the press box, and he did those for free. He does them all over. Anyway, he's a great guy. He's a big part of it. If you need to get something tinted, reach out to him. Slide into his DMs and give him a message. The tint man from Dan Dan, Tobot Castro. He's right there in the comments. You see him. And he's a big supporter of the show, and we love that guy so much. Luisa says, Major League Interested Teams meeting is this Thursday, 6 p.m. Keep an eye out for the flyer. Yes, please send it our way. That's a big deal. There's Little League Baseball is coming back. That's the Major League you're talking about, right? Or are you talking about Saipan Baseball League? When I see Major League, I think of the little kids. Is that already for the main? Oh, waiting for his schedule to clear up for your car. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Luisa, let me know which Major League you're talking about. Because the littlest kids in Little League, they call that the Major League. And then it would go majors, juniors, seniors, bigs. And then, so I'm not sure which one you're looking at. But, while we're here, that's the shared screen. Now, let me give you guys the other one that came up. Hold on. This got sent to me this morning. This is pretty neat. If you guys are looking for something cool, here you go. It's the Valentine's Softball Bash. There's a co-ed softball tournament that's coming up. One of the sponsors is the Commonwealth Women's Association. And they're looking to team up for a great cause and make every swing count. How about that? CNMI Women's Association fundraising event. And it's going to be February 21st to the 23rd over there at Capitol Hill Field. So that is the best place to go watch softball. Why? I'll tell you. Because you can park your car there, grill out, have a cooler with beverages of your choice, have nice chairs, nice tent. Oh my God, it's so great. Tangay Field is needs a lot of love. But even if it's in its prime, you can't do all that. I mean, that's why I love Capitol Hill softball. It's one of the best community facilities that we have in the CNMI is that. And that's going to be a tournament that's coming up. All the contact info is right there. We'll post this on the page also. Kyle Kaipat or Tone Solace, they're the ones who you can reach out to for the organizing. You can actually win some cash, too. It's $150 to enter. Third place gets you $100, so it gets you most of it back. Second place is $200, and first place is $300. There you go. So there's $600 on the line for the prizes. But the main thing is, it's a fundraiser for the CNMI Women's Association. And who doesn't love the CNMI women? Aw. All right. I'm loving you guys in the comments going back and forth talking about that. Okay, so Louisa, you are talking about the Saipan Baseball League. So look, right now it's the Masters League that's happening. The Saipan Baseball League's Masters League is playing. And then the season's going to wrap up by the end of February, unless something crazy happens with the weather. But then the actual full-on, not age-restricted SBL comes into effect afterwards. I think it's going to be about a month or so afterwards. So if you're interested in playing, or getting a team together or playing, there's a meeting this Thursday at 6 p.m. So there will be a flyer coming out to get the word out about that. We just don't have it. So when it does come out, we'll get it to you. Sound like a deal? Sarai? Okay, great. All right, here's another one that came in. 1 second. Ooh. We got a press release? All right. Here, let's get this out there. We're going to send this to you now. This is great. Just got to send this over. So funny that I'm sending it this way with the phone. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. We'll send both of these. Thanks for watching me fiddle around and try to figure out how to send this stuff to myself from the other place. There you go. All right. Oh, geez. Now that was funny. You guys didn't see that? You probably heard it. I dropped my phone on the keyboard. Oh, no way. Your sister's watching. That's great. I would say, is it fair? Do I get in trouble if I say she was my favorite one of your sisters? Both of your sisters were great. True story. Hold on. I'm opening this up now, and I'm going to share this with you guys. All right. Let's open that up. All right. So I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at right here. This is from Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness. It said this is part of the fat loss challenge that we talked about, the Shred and Conquer. It says start 2025 off strong with Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness. Our 12-week fat loss challenge kicks off on January 4th. All right, so they want to say thanks to our amazing sponsors with Ghost Energy Drink, Michelob Ultra, and the Hybrid Shop, offering all kinds of great stuff. It says the challenge focused on full body transformation with bi-weekly weigh-ins, waist measurements,